Oh, Naveed, are you there?
Yes, Sandi, I'm here. How are you?
Oh, my God. Tommy, are you there?
I'm still here.
Oh, my God, it's a party.
Hi.
Naveed, so, okay, Naveed lives in San Diego, and I just heard today that you went the other day up to San Francisco, and that's where you're calling me from, right?
That's right. I was up here to do a couple of fundraiser shows and then found out there was a fire, so it was a blessing that I was at least up here.
So you were up there anyway?
Yes, I was, me and my family, so it was kind of fortunate from that perspective.
That's good. Did they evacuate your area?
Yes, they did, and my wife has got asthma, so it was very fortunate that we were here because the smoke is so thick and our area was, neighborhood was evacuated, so, I think it's a blessing I came to do a comedy for a good cause, and I think the powers that be was very kind.
You were paid back. You have a, okay, by the way, Naveed's from Bangladesh, and how long have you been in the United States?
I've been here almost 15 years.
Okay, and what brought you to the United States?
Well, the same reason everybody wants to come to America, for a better life, and I have had no regrets. But I mainly came here for my graduate studies in electrical engineering, and then I came and got my master's in engineering, and then got into a job, and one thing led to another, and I stayed on and have not regretted since.
There's a picture of Naveed up on the website on Happy Hour on BBS if you want to see Naveed. The thing I wanted to ask you was, you have a little quote that you say. You say, humor is the only way to shove the truth down the throat. That is the only time when the eyes are shut and the mind is wide open. And you have that quote under your picture in your emails. Can you tell me how you came to that, what brought you to that, say that?
Well, I mean, first I learned that from you, Sandi, when I took your class. You said that humor is so powerful. You can, get a lot of truth across. And I'm a Bangladeshi first-generation immigrant. I'm a Muslim. I've been in corporate America. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. So I have a lot of things to say. And especially since 9/11, there's been a lot of misconception about Muslims. And I really thought that through humor, I can try to demystify the fact that a few people are terrorists and they're criminals outright, and everybody else is, everybody else is just a, honest human being. And through humor, I can really tell a lot of things. I can tell I can grab somebody and say that, hey, you know what, this is the truth and this is not the truth, but they're going to say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to you. Versus if you try to make them laugh, they'll say that, I learned something. In fact, I did a show in Michigan a couple of months ago, and this gentleman just came back from Iraq after a one-year tour of duty. He was in active duty Army, and he told me that through my comedy, in 5 minutes, he learned about the Middle East conflict, about Muslims, that he did not even know after his one-year stay in Iraq. So I said, you know what, my mission is accomplished. That through humor you can really tell so many things, and people will accept it with an open mind.
The first rule of comedy is based on truth.
Absolutely.
Can you tell everybody your experience about trying to get through customer service?
Oh, yeah. You want me to do my little bit there?
Well, we don't want to call it a bit, but, let's tell everybody that. And then I want to hear your view on globalization when you're done with that.
Okay, yeah. Customer service, it's I think just about anybody who's listening to this right now has had some experience of speaking with probably some of my relatives on the other line, helping out on tech support. And guess what? I've myself have experienced quite a bit, and somebody would say, hey, my name is Roger Adams. I say, yeah, you're Roger. If you're Roger Adams, I'm Uncle Sam. And then they say, oh, you're Uncle Sam. How are you, Mr. Uncle Sam? No, I'm just kidding, And, so I do a lot of humor about that, and people relate to it, but at the same time, it's an issue, obviously, that a lot of jobs have gone to Southeast Asia, and a lot of people have lost jobs. And then again, through humor, you can tell a few things that,
And how your job is outsourced now.
Yes, it is. In fact, I used to work for a big company, and I left and joined a startup, and guess what? In 2 months, my job goes off to Southeast Asia. So that's kind of ironic, and I say that's my karma.
It's the truth, though. It's very ironic.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell everybody your views on globalization?
Yeah, my view of globalization is that we're all dealing with immigration, we're dealing with outsourcing, we're dealing with corporate America, but these are all a direct result of a global economy, our globalization we are all dealing with every day. And then people say, well, that's kind of high thought. I say, well, okay, let's look at it in very simple terms. You see this shirt I'm wearing. The shirt was made in Vietnam. Then it was shipped on a Singaporean vessel with an Indonesian crew, then offloaded at the Los Angeles port by Mexicans, then loaded onto a San Diego-bound Korean truck with a Japanese engine and a Guatemalan driver. Then I put this shirt made in Vietnam. I put this shirt on. I get into my Japanese Mitsubishi. I drive down to the world-famous comedy store in La Jolla, California, which was born in Hollywood, California. I bring with me my Nokia cell phone made in Finland, bought with my credit card made in China, the transaction processed in India by my good friend Apu, using a Dell computer designed in the U.S., assembled in Malaysia using a microprocessor chip from Taiwan, and then everybody gets to see this comedian from Bangladesh outsourcing comedy. See, that is really the true definition of a global economy or a globalization.
It's the truth. It's so bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well, if you just look around your rooms, everybody look around where you live, everything comes from different places. And by the way, what you travel a lot.
Yes.
Can you tell me because you're up in San Francisco right now, and can you tell me there's a lot of countries that don't have comedy clubs. Do you notice a really big difference? I do, but
yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'm from Bangladesh, and I know for a fact there isn't any comedy club. There aren't any comedy clubs there. There's a few comedians who do comedy on TV, but it's not as powerful as it is over here in America.
Now, didn't you have to hide the fact from your family that you were doing stand-up comedy? For like a year you hid it.
Yeah, in fact, I've been doing comedy for almost 3 years, and for the first 2 years, only Sandi and my wife knew about it.
Yeah.
And, some comedians who ever saw me knew about it, but my community, my parents, my siblings, nobody. Only my wife knew. And it was a lot of times I would miss an evening party at some friend's place, and the story was Naveed is doing a teleconference with Southeast Asia, so that's why he's not here. But guess what? I was at some comedy club.
And then, did you expect the results? You're getting a lot of bookings. You went to Las Vegas to a comedy competition, and you won first place.
Yes, the 2000 Las Vegas Comedy Festival, I was judged, and these were all industry professionals who judged comedians, and I was just the best male comedian for the Play Vegas stage. And that really was a boost and an endorsement of, Sandi, what you taught me. And then everybody said one thing, Naveed, clean humor is so refreshing. And I remember Sandi always telling me that Naveed do clean humor, and in fact, in half an hour, I'm going to go to a Catholic school to do comedy, because they wanted clean comedy.
Really?
So, and then that really was a boost and endorsement. And after that, it's just been, I haven't looked back. Almost every evening I'm doing shows, clubs, private shows, a lot of corporate gigs. Last weekend I did.
You do get booked. When you do clean comedy, you get booked. I always tell people, if they start an argument, like they want to do blue comedy in class, I tell them, go ahead and do 2 sets, do a dirty set, do a clean set, but I don't want to work with you on your dirty set because it's not creative.
Right.
And people are sick of hearing about it.
Yeah.
Is Tommy still on the air? Oh, I guess Tommy left. But, I get a lot of that, from, and a lot of new women coming out have potty mouths.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's funny. They were doing shock comedy. You're doing really traditional, clean humor that people want to hear.
Absolutely, Sandi. And in fact, this fundraiser I did last Friday here in San Francisco, there was another comedian who was the main comedian. I was the opener. And when the other comedian came, he was very good, but he did a little bit of blue comedy, and there were parents who actually said, they screamed out, there are kids here. And then the feedback I got was phenomenal. They said, you were funny, you were clean, I didn't have to worry about my kids. So that really was very encouraging to hear that.
I just think it's, when you do clean comedy, it's more universal anyway. And then when you first started out doing stand-up, you were just doing jokes. Remember?
Yes, absolutely.
You were doing jokes, and what I like to do is turn people into characters. Like, and I said, you travel a lot. You're more global. Let's work on that from that point of view, and that's really because that's who you are.
Yeah.
And you're right now. The world is changing so fast because of the internet. The information we can get. I think. And, you have you're in the middle of it. You're in the mix. You're Muslim. You're from a different country. You travel a lot, and you have a lot to say. And I'm really hoping you continue to expand. What are your goals for your future in comedy?
Well, first of all, if I'm spending just about all my time on it right now. I quit my very well-paying job.
You quit your day job.
I quit my day job. People used to say, Naveed, don't quit your daytime job. And I was trying to be funny, and then guess what? I did quit my daytime job.
So you're under a little stress, right?
I'm sorry?
You're under a little stress now.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is it stressful?
Well, I mean, it is, but it's just like, I mean, they don't say it's showbiz without a reason. It's a business, and I treat it as a business in the sense that comedy is my product, and then I have to make it ready for a market. And if they want to pay for it, then I have to, do my good product planning. And the product planning is clean comedy. And I've seen wherever I've gone, there's a huge market and a need and a desire and a thirst for clean comedy.
You seem really, really busy lately. Is that because you're doing a lot of comedy on the road now? Well,
yes. I mean, I have still limited myself to California, Southern California, but it's just comedy. I'm doing, in fact, tomorrow, I'm driving to L.A. for 2 shows, and I come back again to San Francisco because I want to stay away from the smoke. But yes, I am staying very busy with comedy, and it's also it's a small community in the sense that if you do well, if you're if you're an honest person, and if you're professional, people like you for that. And
do you feel like you're a happier person now because of it?
I've never been happier. My wife says, we've been married 9 years, and she says she's never seen me happier.
And your baby was conceived right after your showcase that you did.
Yes, exactly.
Your very first showcase you did for us. Right?
In fact, I think, the conception of a human being has a lot to do with happiness, and I remember the first showcase I did, though I'm sure my comedy has come a long way since then, but I was so happy. I remember I never did public speaking in Bangladesh. First time I ever did it was in my mid-20s here in the U.S., and only because my boss forced me to do it for a presentation at my company. And I'm ever grateful to him for that. And then I look back, oh my God, have I not only done public speaking, but I've done comedy. And I was very happy. And it's just like a rush. I mean, it's just when you have a good evening, you make people laugh, and they come and say, you know what, you were so good, or you were so clean. It's a rush. And I've never been happier doing anything else.
Isn't that, you know what you did? You're following your dream.
I am, and I'm taking it seriously. I mean, if you...
Yeah, it is. It's a business. You have to treat yourself like a business. You're a product, and you have to market it, just like you said. I think you're doing a great job with it.
Yeah, and in fact, I started business school, started my MBA a couple of years ago. I've taken a break, but I'm seeing that there's so much applicable. I've been in corporate America for 13 years, and it is just similar. It's just a different dimension, but everything is the same. You have a product to sell, and you have to make it ready for a market, and you have to network. You have to be honest, professional about it, and definitely that's the way to go. And I'm just so psyched up every morning to get up, do what I'm doing.
Isn't that great? Now we're at the bottom of the hour. We're supposed to be taking a break, and